Welcome to Miami Gardens. 12 months ago, he stood tall as El Campeón de Miami, leaving town with the trophy. Having reestablished himself as world number one, Carlos Alcaraz returns to defend his title, leading a dazzling field at this year's Miami Open, presented by Itaú.
Welcome to Miami.
South Beach bringing the heat.
What a win for Dusan Lajovic.
The struggles and the woes continue for Dominic Thiem.
The defending champion is up and running.
Taro Daniel getting the better of Alexander Zverev.
Access to the round of 16? You betcha. He is done.
Well, Jannik Sinner just loves playing in Miami. Well, what an absolutely bonkers match that was. Well, it's a big win for Botic van der Zandschulp.
Ozzy Aliassime well below his best.
Another seed has fallen.
Stefanos Tsitsipas dismisses the qualifier. 6 days down as we make the turn as the Sweet 16 arrives in Miami. Everybody in action today as we welcome you, tennis fans, to the Miami Open presented by Itaú. We've seen upsets, we've seen the favorites cruising, we've seen a little bit of everything already. And now it's time to bring you how things will transpire on this day. Inside Hard Rock Stadium in just about an hour's time, the first top 10 clash of the event, and the only one today. Taylor Fritz takes on Holger Rune to start. And then we'll see Carlos Alcaraz, world number one, riding a pair of 8-match win streaks in Miami and the Sunshine Double versus American number 3 Tommy Paul. Ali's the Frenchman. He's had a hot hand of late. He'll need all of that and more to take on the tour leader in match wins, Daniil Medvedev. Over on the grandstand, you better get there early and get a seat because it is a full slate. 5 matches in total. We'll begin with Jannik Sinner versus Andre Rublev, Van der Zandschulp and Russo Ford to follow. Khachanov and Tsitsipas will meet for a 7th time, a rematch of their Australian Open semifinal. A couple of unseeded players amongst 5 today. Mannarino taking on the qualifier Eubanks, and Cerundolo's semifinal run last year. He'll try to repeat that against Lorenzo Sonego. Well, we do welcome into the warm confines. Happy to see the clouds have abated a bit. There was some rain yesterday. There's some forecast for later today. We're hoping that's just a misnomer. We're going to give ourselves a shot. Colin Fleming and myself will guide you through this fantastic day. But as we await the arrival of Jannik Sinner and Andre Rublev, well, the Italian number 1 Sinner has had an impressive 2023 so far. Champion of Montpellier, runner-up in Rotterdam. The 21-year-old is looking to continue his upward trajectory.
I cannot tell you the percentage where I am right now, but still there is quite a lot of space, I feel, and it's good that I can play and compete already against the best players in the world.
Oh, that is simply superb.
I started off the season quite well. Won 1 tournament, made final in Rotterdam, now semis in Masters event. So I'm very happy to be in that position. Obviously, I'm pushing every time that I step on court, trying my best.
And for Jannik Sinner, that's a win that will feel very gratifying to return to the site of one of his best Masters 1000 events. Finalist 2 years ago.
I know that I can still improve. I'm not at my 100%, so let's try to keep pushing, trying to keep improving, and and then we'll see how we go.
Yeah, continues to be a work in progress, the Italian, and he has room for improvement. He's currently number 11 in the world. And Colin Fleming, live ranking puts him back in the top 10, but he wants so much more. The rankings almost an ancillary byproduct of what he hopes is a deep push to his biggest title.
Well, here he is, young Jannik Sinner, still just 21 years of age. And when he says on the VT there that he wants to keep pushing, he of course means keep pushing the boundaries, because he certainly doesn't push the ball. This guy, one of the biggest hitters in the game, and he's looking to add layers to his tennis. But Andrei Rublev, one of the biggest hitters as well. This could be a real firecracker here. Both these players playing attacking tennis, and I'm very excited, as are the crowd on grandstand. It's a great crowd already, as you can see.
Yeah, using some inside speak there. Colin means VT means off the videotape, not volatile temperament or anything that way. It's strictly about the piece that we saw. But you're absolutely right. I mean, all kidding aside, it really has been a concerted effort with Darren Cahill joining the fray and helping Sinner, that they really want to make that push. Masters 1000 title in their sights, majors, all of that on offer if he can continue with this upward trajectory. Well, there were some showers last night. There are a couple sprinkles expected later today, but these are the current conditions, Colin.
Yeah, and been very similar throughout the week. 27 degrees Celsius currently, 63% humidity. That's just starting to creep up with a little bit of rain in the air, maybe. Not much of a breeze, although we have seen what breeze there is just influence the matches at times. And it's sort of at 37.2 in that medium category of the court pace.
Yeah, the forecast for showers about 30% around 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then again at 8 o'clock tonight, but that could easily change as the weather moves through
Gentlemen,
quickly.
couple reminders for this match. Net sensor, towel boxes each corner of the court. Andre, could you please use number 1, number 2 for you, Jannik. 2 locations for the shot clock, 2 far corners. Keep an eye on it, please. TV changeover as well for this match. Oka live, and we have some ice towels if needed at the back of the, behind the benches, basically. Okay? Any questions, maybe? Nothing? ATP here? ATP or the world? The world. This one for him, ATP for you, Ali. ATP. Receive. Okay, have a good match. You stay? Okay, have a good match.
Arnaud Gabas of France handling the chair umpire duties. The coin toss is done. He'll take his perch above the net cord. Well, there will only be one top 10 clash. The first will be in just about 50 minutes, Taylor Fritz and Holger Rune. But if you look at the live ranking, this is a top 10 meeting between Jannik Sinner and Andrei Rublev. This will be the 4th time they face each other. We'll detail all of that and more as we get into this contest, the first of the round of 16 contests, all taking place today. In this section of the draw, of course, Sinner and Rublev, joined by Van de Sandschulp and Ruusuvuori. And if we saw the entirety of it, which would be the top half, you'd know that Carlos Alcaraz sits atop at the 1 seed, as well as being joined by Holger Rune and Taylor Fritz, Tommy Paul. So the top half will get us kicked off, and that gives us a chance, Colin, to focus on both of these guys who are familiar with each other and are familiar to the tennis world. And first up is the 21-year-old Italian number 1, Jannik Sinner.
Yeah, and what a prodigious talent this young man is. As you can see, still just 21 years of age and playing good tennis of late. Yeah, run to the title in Montpellier, finalist in Rotterdam. Okay, had to withdraw from Marseille, but then went all the way to the semis in Indian Wells, the first Masters 1000 of the season, losing to Alcaraz 6-3 in a fairly tight match, and now here he is. Never lost before the quarterfinals in Miami, of course, finalist on debut in 2021. He had to retire from his quarterfinal last year with blisters, but he's looking strong once again. And as I say, Kevin, really looking forward to this match. Both players are very good on hard courts, and both players are in great form this week. So I think this could be a great match. Yeah,
he rests in the top half of the draw, of which there are 6 players that have moved through to the round of 16 without dropping a set. He's one. Jared's opponent in the opening round, no problem, 4-2. Dimitrov, it was a little closer than the ultimate straight sets score indicated, but it was a good match to get through, and now he finds himself going up against a very familiar foe in the form of one Andrei Rublev. Close to his 13th career title in Dubai earlier. Just went up against the red-hot Medvedev. Couldn't quite get past, but for the 25-year-old Rublev, he's finding himself back into form, hoping to pick up a 14th win on the year. And if he does so, it would be his 250th at tour level.
Yeah, and it's the first time, believe it or not, in Rublev's career that he's reached back-to-back 4th rounds in Indian Wells and Miami. I was surprised when I saw that, because this guy is so good on hard courts. But I guess it's just a sign of Rublev still just consistently progressing, continuing to subtly improve year on year. Quarter-finalist at the Australian Open, then some disappointing results off the back of that before getting it going again, a run to the final in Dubai. The fourth round loss in Indian Wells to Cameron Norrie, 2-4, wouldn't have pleased him, but much slower, grippier courts there. I think the courts here, which are livelier, quicker, will suit him more. And you can see the run he's had. Absolutely dismantled Kecmanovic in his previous match, did Andrei Rublev. He was on fire in that one, just cracking 32 winners in total. So watch out for his big game from the start here.
Without question. And meanwhile, this will be the 5th meeting between them. They've met 4 times previously, but it's only the first time they met outside on a hard court. 3 of the matches have been on clay, and 1 was indoors in hard court. That was their first meeting in 2020 in Vienna. Ultimately, their final meeting was at Roland Garros last year, Rublev winning 2-love in the third when Sinner, who had a heavily taped left knee, had to retire from that match.
Yeah, I think that's important just to complete the picture on the head-to-head. The 2 completed matches between these two have been won by Sinner. And Sinner was on top of that French Open meeting last year, won the first set 6-1 before the left knee started to give him pain throughout the second set, eventually retired at 2-love in the third. So I think based on the head-to-head, Sinner will feel confident that he has the tools to get past Rublev, but equally Rublev, as we see his new coach, Roberto Martin there, will be feeling good about the fact that he's on an outdoor hard court now and looking to get the win today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things transpire in the first of our 8 matches today to get through to the quarterfinals. Jannik Sinner, Andrei Rublev, Chapter 5 of their burgeoning rivalry. It's a top 10 clash as far as seedings, and Sinner already back inside the top 10 from number 11 to 10 in the live rankings. So an virtual top 10 encounter for these two as they seek a spot in the last 8. Gabas put the coin in the air. Sinner won the toss, elected to receive. That means Andrei Rublev will go for his 14th match win of the year by serving first.
Take a seat quickly, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for closing the gates as well.
Looking to become the first quarterfinalist in the 2023 Miami Open. Rublev, Sinner.
Ready?
For a spot opposite Banasanstrup on Rusevori. We're underway on day 7 from Miami.
15 up. $30.
12 aces against Kecmanovic. 20 winners off the ground. And he's picking up where he left off here.
$40.
Blistering start picking up, and ideally just as he finished off, didn't face a single break point in the previous round in that 58-minute victory, the shellacking of Kecmanovic. Rublev off to a fantastic start.
Well, there's Beto, Alberto Martin, who spends a lot of time working on the mental side as much as the tennis side, if you like. And that'll be an interesting dynamic as they build their relationship. Started in the Middle East, Doha and Dubai, through Indian Wells, and here in Miami. You saw the 4-slam tennis cap. That's the academy run by Fernando Vicente and Galo Blanco. So Vicente still in the background there with Rublev.
Indian Wells semi-finalist, Jannik Sinner. Looking to give himself a nice little pop here, looking for 7 of his last 8.
Lovely.
And we showed you the 2 victories to get through for Sinner, and a bit misnomer. Despite the fact that he's only lost 13 games, it wasn't as if he wasn't tested in each of those matches. Was behind a break in the opening set against Laszlo Djere. Recovered to win 4-2. I mentioned the Dimitrov match was a little closer than the score indicated. In the second set, he was twice down a break before being able to recover to win 6-3, 6-4. Be interesting to see if he can come out a bit sharper on the attack and handle Rublev's brilliance early.
Well, an interesting dynamic in this match is what Jannik Sinner has been working on since Darren Cahill joined his team. Cahill looking to improve the serve as one thing, but also add variety in the form of the willingness to come to the net to finish points, but also to mix in the drop shot, mix in some changes of speed and spin. And there's always a feeling against Rublev, or if you look at this matchup, that this could just be a sort of baseline power battle. There's Cahill there alongside Simone Vagnozzi, the full-time coach, and Cahill very much on board now. So as I say, I'm interested to see if that sort of extra layer or two that Sinner's looking to add, can that make the difference for him today? How willing will he be to use it under pressure?
Now back-to-back aces put him in good stead, and feeling this week got some pop on that racket to begin. Not as perfect as Rublev, but you know what? Same exact result. 1 apiece.
Coach Cahill will be happy with that serving, that's for sure.
Yeah, they both suffered in their best results in Miami to the same player. Rublev getting to the semifinals 2 years ago. Falling to Hubie Hurkacz, who then went through and beat Sinner on the last day. But that's the best result thus far for Andre at this tournament. In 7 trips. Hasn't returned to the quarterfinals, but that run 2 years ago.
One of Sinner's big strengths is his return of serve. And a quality return here, just subtly rushing Rublev, getting the short ball, and he didn't have pounce on it. Magical tennis. Again, the return of serve, giving him the upper hand in the point. And it's the first time we've seen that. Variety coming to the fore. Beautiful drop shot, carving inside the ball there. Look at the side spin, cutting away.
Rublev saved 5 of 6 break points against Wolf. Didn't have to face one in the previous round. And now under some early duress. Swats away 1 break chance for Sinner.
30-40.
Sinner does get the break. Early turn in his favor. Just 8 minutes necessary to get a 2-1 lead in the opening match on the day of the Sweet 16 at the Miami Open.
Statement 2 games there from Jannik Sinner. Looked as if Rublev had made a fast start, a quality service game, and then some brilliant tennis to break.
It's been an interesting tournament, this second Masters 1000 of the year. It's been a bit topsy-turvy. Things have held according to form for the most part in the top half of the draw, which is of course where these 2 players occupy space. There's only 1 unseeded player who was able to advance through to the round of 16, being Emil Rusevori, whereas the bottom half was topsy-turvy and a lot of shakeup. Skyline Gondola providing panoramic views of this tennis campus, giving a good look down inside the grandstand where we are currently. But ultimately, the cream of the crop, they're starting to rise now, none more so than Jannik Sinner as he seeks his 19th match win of the year. His consistency has been exceptionally solid. Now in his 7th event, he is trying to reach his 5th quarterfinal or better.
15-0.
Got shut 1 round shy at the Australian Open, losing the round of 16 to Tsitsipas. Was 1 and done in Marseille, but a couple of finals, runner-up in Rotterdam, that followed his run to the title in Montpellier. So it really has been a terrific campaign thus far for the Italian.
Sinner is sizzling.
30-0.
Incredibly high quality of tennis. All kinds of winners coming off his racket. It's 5 already.
Look at you just stamp seal of approval on the break and a hold at love as his 3rd ace flies past Rublev. Go ahead, add another. Back-to-back aces once again, and Rublev really on a tear, or caught flat-footed by Sinner, as that makes it 3-1. As Jannik has put together a dazzling run here, 12 of the last 14 points. And turned the tide. And considering Rublev started with a hold at love himself, this has just been a full blitz by Jannik. Ace numero uno for Rublev.
Now this time the movement doing the damage for Sinner. It's an area he's working on a lot, the physical side of the game, and big dynamic strides. Look at that, gets the left foot behind the ball and catches Rublev unawares.
It's just unrelenting in the pressure already. The application that is smothering Rublev since that opening hold.
You get a sense of how big Sinner's game is when he's in this kind of form. Rublev unable to impose his power on the match, any regularity. Important for Rublev here that he keeps it to just one break. You got to try and stay as close as you can in the scoreboard when your opponent's on a heater like this until they cool off.
Are hoping they cool off. Maybe Sinner's got designs on cutting through this into the quarterfinals in under an hour, as Rublev did in his previous match. Absolutely striking the ball authoritatively. Rublev in danger of falling behind. Double break.
Now for context, Sinner's previous win against Grigor Dimitrov, he hit 9 winners. And he's on 9 winners so far in this match.
It's a bit blistering. What a magnificent return right there on the tiptoes of Rublev. And just the ball is just exploding as it trampolines off the strings of Sinner. That is going to trouble Andre. I mean, he went right back at Jannik. He knows. He just made it too easy for the Italian. Continual scrutiny against his serve.
Yeah, and 1 from 4 net points, 1 for Rublev, untidy.
That's a carryover from the previous point, and Rublev coming undone. Hurts himself in the cause, as now an insurance break comes to Jannik Sinner. In cruise control, just 17 minutes to build a 4-1 lead opening set.
What a 5 games from Jannik Sinner. The one game that Rublev won was the first of the match when he came out and cranked a few winners himself. Sinner 9 winners, no unforced errors so far. Just too hot to handle.
Happy to see plenty of blue thus far. A couple of cumulus nimbus clouds just sort of making their way around Miami Gardens, and we hope that all threats of rain will abate as this 7th day continues on. The south end of the campus is where the grandstand rests. And that is where we are currently for the first of 5 matches today. All in total, there will be 8 because everybody in the round of 16 is taking the court today. 3 inside Hard Rock Stadium, spread out throughout the afternoon and into the evening. But 5 in a row. That's back to back to back. Those in the stands right now just getting planted, getting settled. This has been lopsided in Sinner's favor.
Yeah, and you could pick out any shot quality of Sinner so far, but look at the backhand, 9.8 out of 10 in the first 5 games. Rublev struggling slightly on that wing.
15-up.
Sinner won the first set 6-1 the last time they met. Not too dissimilar fashion, able to dominate the match against the usually big hitting Rublev. And then the knee trouble started in the second set. That was in their 4th round meeting at the French Open. Sinner eventually having to retire at the start of the 3rd. But you can see that he's comfortable going up against Rublev's game.
Yeah. Well, their last completed match was in Monte Carlo earlier that year, where Sinner took the second set 6-1 as well. He's had a couple of times where he's thumped Andre. That time he came back from a set down to win 6-1, 6-3. Second and third, but yeah, he's just firing all cylinders working. We wondered if those 2 matches against Jer and Dimitrov were just a takeoff point.
30-15.
This is getting ridiculous. Tennis from another world from Sinner. The backhand again coming to the fore, but even from behind the service line, finding a beautiful little angle. This man has it all so far today.
Yeah, he's seeing this ball travel through the air like it was the size of a beach ball. I mean, he's having 0 problems finding his way around the court. Sinner looks to apply even more pressure upon Rublev with another dazzling hold. Done. 12 of 14 from the line, just sending a message early. Hungry for a position amongst the last 8.
5 games to 1.
Sinner 5-1.
A real test of Rublev's mentality here. He's got to just stay calm, tell himself that Sinner will cool off. If he doesn't, okay, too good. Make sure you stay in the match, you're competing and ready.
Everything working for Jannik. Nothing going the way of Rublev. This could be heartbreaking.
Look at the return again, right on the baseline, and here's the variety once more. speaking of variety, that's one of the challenges for Rublev in this type of scenario where his opponent is on fire. He doesn't have a huge amount of variety in his game. He's not going to suddenly start changing the speed of the points with slice backhands or throwing in the serve volley. You know, he's very much going to keep playing the same way and try and execute better, and also hope that Sinner cools.
Yeah, and hope that emotionally it doesn't lead him down a path of self-destruction if he isn't able to corral things quickly here against Sinner.
Second serve is getting destroyed. 1 out of 8 he's won so far. And it has always been an area of vulnerability, if you like, quite attackable at this level. And it's getting the treatment today.
Out. 40-30.
Just can't seem to build a head of steam. Can't get any momentum. Andre Rublev as he's trying to counteract Sinner's attack. The hole to love to begin the match was the lone spot where he's really had a feeling of any sort of progress that's sustained.
Advantage Rublev.
I mean, even just putting points together 2 in a row has proven difficult since. Should be a pretty ripe occasion to accomplish that for the first time since that opening game.
It's not going to improve Rublev's mood. Slice of fortune there off the net cord, nothing he could really do. Tried to buy a cross-court pass there, but Sinner was calm.
He's got to feel put upon at this point, Andre. That's both net cords that have gone the way of Sinner. Domination for this opening 26 minutes by the Italian. Got to find a way at least to make Sinner step up and try to earn this set on his own racket. A third game point for Andre. And he'll do just that. So the hold for Rublev, just his second of his 4 trips to the line in this opening frame. And it will be Sinner looking to put himself to a 1-set lead in Miami.
I think a lot of people on Grandstand probably just catching their breath. To start, Sinner has made 15 winners, winning all types of point. 5 aces, 10 from the baseline.
Seed Jannik Sinner spent exactly 3 hours on court in his opening 2 matches here at the 2023 Miami Open with his straight sets wins over Laszlo Djere, Serbia, and Grigor Dimitrov, the 21 seed from Bulgaria. Yeah, not a minute over 3 hours, and he's looking to get this match done in less than an hour. He's currently on pace. As he steps up to try to serve out set number 1, it has been all Sinner all the time. Too much, too good. to serve his way to a 1-set lead against Andrei Rublev. Starts off losing just his 3rd point on serve. Rublev taking some big cuts.
What a guy to have in your corner in the form of Darren Cahill, former coach, of course, Leighton Hewitt and Andre Agassi.
They did pretty well in their day.
They did not too bad, and both I'm sure would speak very highly of the work Darren Cahill did with them. It was a shock in the tennis world when Sinner split with Riccardo Piatti. He looks to have settled on a team that really bodes well for the future.
Well, Agassi was pretty forthcoming in his autobiography in talking about the message and the way that Cahill imparts it when he's talking to you and trying to get you to follow a strategy or a mentality. That easy Australian accent, the way he phrases things and poses it to you is very easy to take on board. Sinner's finding that as well. And Jannik wasting no time to get himself to set point. Not quite to a, well, just reaching the 30-minute mark. Having dropped just 3 points in total. Yeah, the camaraderie between Sinner and his camp, led by Cahill, has just really elevated the belief in his game for Jannik. Start for the runner-up from 2 years ago here in Miami. A 32-minute drubbing of Andrei Rublev in their 5th meeting. Well, 8 players, half the field of the round of 16, had not dropped a set entering today. Rublev is no longer one of them.
Well, a near perfect set of tennis from Jannik Sinner. It was a quality opening game from Andrei Rublev. You thought then he may be the one to make the fast start, but Sinner just exploded from love 15 in the 2nd game. And look at the stats, 16 winners, just 3 unforced errors, and a real spread of winners. 5 aces, 3 out of 3 at the net. Rublev, 1 out of 6 at the net. He's looked uncomfortable in that area of the court, but in truth, we haven't really got a gauge of how well he's playing here because Sinner has just dominated. Quite incredible. 92% of first serve points won for Sinner, 12 out of 13, and 11% on the second serve for Rublev, just 1 out of 9. Sinner has really got after the second deal, and he's big favourite for this one now.
Take a seat quickly, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Time. Any seat for now, please. Thank you.
Arnaud Gabos, the French chair umpire, trying to get some order here in the grandstand as people streaming in starting to understand that they're missing out on the 10 seed Jannik Sinner's blistering display to begin.
Thank you, please. We are ready. Thank you.
Andre Rublev finding himself on the short end and now having to mount a comeback from a set down against a man who has been virtually unstoppable from this position. Sinner 17-1 this season with a one-set advantage, and
Stands quickly, please.
that sole loss was in Rotterdam in the championship match as he was going for his 8th career title. Couldn't hold on against Daniil Medvedev.
Yeah.
Losing 6-2 in the third. But that's it, the only blemish against the Italian this year. Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit annoying, as if Rublev needs any more agitation after what he experienced in the opening 32 minutes. He'll start set number 2 from the line.
59.
Just as he did to begin the match. Some 35 minutes ago, he ran off the opening 4 points to get on the board first. Begins with his third ace.
You would expect, surely, Sinner's going to cool off here. And for this to be a more competitive set. If he maintains that level, it would be quite incredible. First backhand error of the match there.
40.
And a carbon copy of how this match began. Andre Rublev just comes out blazing and fires 4 strikes to take the opening game in set number 2, but that's as far as he wants the carbon copy to go, because the rest of the set was an absolute disaster in his mind. And it's not, Colin, as if he played poor tennis. I mean, there were a couple of breakdowns here and there. He'd never lost his cool, but Sinner was just redlining the entire time.
Yeah, Sinner was on fire. It'd be interesting to see what Rublev can do, if anything, to try and turn this match in his favor. As I say, he doesn't have a huge amount of variety in his game. He's an incredible player. But he's got that sort of one way of playing, power from the baseline, big first serve. See if Sinner can maintain.
Let Fossou.
Absolutely startling numbers for Sinner through the opening 32 minutes, and it all began where he stands currently from the service line. Just dropped 4 points on serve in total. Was plus 13 in the differential. Winners to unforced errors. 16 strikes to just 3 errors. That would seem, against a player of Rublev's quality, a difficult level to maintain. Yet he gets off to an equally flying start. tough to maintain in humid conditions. I mean, that is a well-coiffed young man, and keeping it all nice and tight. Keeping his game tight too, his center.
Just pounced on that ball. It wasn't that easy a ball, sort of wide and low in the court. It's just so sharp with his movement up to it and through the ball. It made it look easy.
Making everything look easy. It's just all matter of fact. Routine, good service motion to produce a 6th ace. Everybody seems cool, calm, and collected in team center.
Serving just about as well as I've ever seen him. 6 aces now, but big pace on the first serve, the accuracy. Eventually, just too much court to cover. Beto Martin on his feet, recognizing this is the response Rublev needs.
Yeah, he's turned things around from the line considerably. Winning 10 of his last 11 points on serve, going back to the conclusion of the opening set, and he's looking to make it back-to-back holds to love. Bang. So starting to heat up a bit. That'll help his cause and perhaps lighten his mood. But the danger lurks. Hadn't lost a set coming in. He's going to have to play from a set down to reach the quarterfinals in Miami.
Will you please give me one ball? Can you give me one ball, please?
Well, expecting in just about 5 minutes or so, the arrival inside Hard Rock Stadium of one Taylor Fritz and this man, Holger Rune, the 7th seed, making the most of his Miami debut. As he goes through the draw, hasn't dropped a set himself, and winner of 9 of his last 10 Masters 1000 matches. Of course, champion back late last year at the Paris Masters, and had a quality results in Indian Wells as well. But here he's trying to make a big splash. First time in South Florida for this Masters 1000 event, and hoping it's the Elite 8 and a victory over Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz preparing for his pursuit of a 21st win in 2023. The American #1 has been the model of consistency thus far as he goes for his 5th consecutive quarterfinal in as many events. Standing in his way, Holger Rune. They are just moments away from walking from this little warm-up area just outside the stadium within a stadium. They'll begin their contest, the first meeting of Fritz and Rune. Tennis fan, we return to the grandstand The second set, Jannik Sinner, one of 5 Italians to arrive in South Florida for this event, and one of 2 to reach the Sweet 16. Fellow countryman Lorenzo Sonego with a big win over 12 seed Francis Tiafoe yesterday. He's through in the bottom half.
50 up.
In fact, that's where the shakeup has been. The top half is essentially holding somewhat to form because all but one of the positions in the round of 16 in the top half are seeded players, the exception being Emil Rusevori. Sonego being one of 4 players in the bottom half to have advanced to the round of 16 without a seeding. They'll take on the 25 seed last year's semifinalist Francisco Cerundolo. Last match on this court.
Tasty. Very tasty. He's been perfect with the drop shot so far today. I mentioned at the start of the match, it would be interesting to see if the variety that he's been working on and adding to his game, whether he would commit to it and whether it would work. And I think it's a tick in both of those boxes. Sprinkled it in nicely with great success.
And a brilliant start for both to begin set number 2. Sinner hasn't cooled off, but Rublev at least is matching him. A combined 16 of 17 from the line to begin. The only point lost by Sinner in his first effort. And after there were 2 breaks in the opening 5 games, that makes 7 straight holds.
Brilliant change of direction. Combination of shots. As soon as he hit this one cross court and saw that it was breaking the sideline, he's thinking the down the line might be on, got the ball he wanted. And brilliant execution once more, a 21st winner. Again, it's the return really that does the damage, puts Rublev on the back foot. Knocking on the door here, Sinner. Rare collector's item. Missed return off the second serve.
40-30. Let second serve.
And Rublev does his part. What a masterful backhand. But Sinner in an awkward position. But that's what it's taking to win points and offer holds. 4 consecutive holds for Rublev, but still down a set.
Good effort there from 15-30. The missed second serve return, a real let-off. Sinner not quite operating at as high a level as the first set. Still playing well, but it's just been enough to let Rublev wriggle his way into this match. Still feel as if Sinner is very dangerous and could break through at any moment.
Back at Miami Gardens, and as promised, across the grounds in Hard Rock Stadium, it would be the arrival of Taylor Fritz and Olga Rune. Of the 8 matches today, only one featuring 2 top 10 ranked players. NUL's champion Taylor Fritz from a year ago, trying to reach his first Miami quarterfinal and produce his 21st match win of the year. As he goes up against the very talented teen from Denmark, Olga Rune.
And now from Denmark, please welcome Olga Rune.
Making the most of his debut at the Miami Open and hoping to unseat the top-ranked American. Olga Rune, his first ever meeting against Taylor Fritz. And that will be coming up inside Hard Rock Stadium. Of the 8 matches today, 4 of them first-time meetings between the 2 players taking the court, including what is about to transpire in Hard Rock Stadium. Back to the grandstand. And back to the work of Jannik Sinner.
That's more like it for Rublev, type of point he wants to be playing. His turn to take advantage of a second serve.
It just continues to pepper with purpose. I mean, just putting the ball in the everywhere he wants to, both on his serve, off of the ground, causing Rublev fits.
Same number of unforced errors. These 5.5 games as he made in the 8 of the opening set. Still not exactly playing badly though. Just a subtle drop off. First serve percentage has fallen as well.
Sinner happily accepts the overcooked forehand of Rublev. That secures him the break for 3-all. Certainly on paper, a match that you would expect if Sinner wasn't redlining that this would really be nip and tuck. We got their first chance to meet on an outdoor hard court. That's where he's been able to reach the Final Four himself. Rublev, the same year that Sinner made the championship round here.
There's evidence of a slight improvement from Rublev and a slight drop off from Sinner. As I said at the change of ends, to just get a sense that Sinner remains very dangerous here, capable of just igniting again at any moment.
Yeah.
This might just be that moment. Absolutely launching himself into the second serve return.
And just put some extra velocity on this. That left a vapor trail.
That does not feel good, Kevin, when your second serve's getting that treatment. I mean, where do you go with the next one? It's a real tough pill to swallow.
30. Good response from Rublev, but yeah, when you're getting punished like that, it makes you think. Luckily for Andre, he just had the memory of a goldfish. Forgot all about the previous point. Managed to produce his 6th ace.
Here he comes. Again, it's the return, putting him on top of the point. So quick to pounce on the short ball. And here's our first break point of the second set.
Oh, just unrelenting. He just will not quit. Jannik Sinner, the application of pressure from the return position, and he snaps Rublev once again. A third break, and now a set and a break lead as he seeks the last 8.
Well, definitely sensed it, that he may just get hot again. And he's looking good to see this match out now with the way he's been serving. Definitely been an area of focus since Darren Cahill has come on board as part of the team, and 86% of first serve points won today, and those blue zones are within 3 feet of the lines. 88% of his first serves to the juice court, 80% to the ad court within that 3-foot range. Very accurate, very big serving from Sinner. One of many areas in which he's excelled today.
They come into this contest overall officially 2-2 in their head-to-head, although there have been a couple of abbreviated matches. They each came in having not dropped a set. In fact, they had identical losses of games total 13 through the Miami Open, entering the grandstand today for the first of our round of 16 encounters. But this has been a lopsided affair. Whatever similarities there were before, Jannik Sinner has gone into a full sprinter mode. He is looking to pull away from the 6-seed Rublev here. I mean, just broken for 4-3, already a set to the good. Looking to slam the door. That'll be the first quarterfinalist in the 2023 Miami Open.
Piece of the line there. This is something to build on.
No 15.
Sinner facing just enough to get himself a little smidgen. I mean, that is just a 7 mil. That's almost the fluff of the ball. But any is as good as all.
Shouldn't be surprised it's got the line the way he's been playing today. Sinner should head down to South Beach later and walk on water. He can do no wrong.
He cannot. Everything is clicking.
30-15.
It must be fun to play tennis like this. In full control of his game.
Yeah, meanwhile, Andrei Rublev's hopes are sinking. Sinner, remember, had some difficulties in his opening rounds against Jera and Dimitrov. Was down breaks multiple times in those matches. Hasn't faced a single break point by Rublev today.
40-15.
And the veneer of Rublev is starting to crack. No longer able to contain his angst. And Sinner in the driver's seat. He is really trying to hammer home his position to be amongst the quarterfinalists. And that has been the demarcation of his consistency the last 2 years. We mentioned he's seeking his 5th quarterfinal in 7 events this season. Last year, Colin, quarterfinals are better in 10 out of 17.
Yeah, and you just feel that if his body can hold up, and he spoke pre-tournament about feeling a lot better physically now than he did 12 months ago, say, you know, become more robust, avoid the injuries, continue to develop physically. I mean, look at the tennis he's capable of. He's going to be back in the top 10 in the very near future, and he's not going to stop there, Sinner. You know, he's going to feature very strongly in the next decade of men's tennis alongside guys like Alcaraz, Rune.
World number 7 putting up a fight, taking some big cuts to show he's still here.
Taking his anger out on the tennis ball.
Yeah, he's punching at it like it owes him money. Threatening triple digits and the velocity. 11th winner off the forehand side. Oh, and a dozen now as another one coming through pacey.
It's the 19th winner of the match for Rublev. 46 in total between these two players. Goodness me.
Ooh, that got upwards in the grill of Sinner as it jumped up. No damage done. Not when you're up 6-2, 5-3. Nothing hurts you.
Okay, just to continue that point, we've now played 94 points and had 46 winners.
Yeah. Yeah, the remarkable part of all that is Rublev, even though he's getting manhandled here by Sinner, he's +3 in the differential, winners to errors. And Sinner, well, he's an absurd. I mean, it's +20. Ridiculous against the number 7 player in the world. Yeah, your point well taken. This has been some quality tennis. Rublev really hasn't done a whole lot wrong. He's just being outgunned by Sinner. And it will be the 21-year-old Italian who will step to the line, looking to continue unblemished. No sets dropped, en route to the quarterfinals of this Masters 1000.
Do not send the ball between first and second.
Well, as good as he's been, can he serve this one out?
A concerted effort to get on top of Andrei Rublev from the outset, and that's exactly what Jannik Sinner was able to accomplish as he came out to face the number 7 player in the world for a 5th time. And so it goes now for Jannik Sinner in his 3rd consecutive appearance at the Miami Open, looking to stay perfect. A hold away from his 3rd trip to the quarterfinals here. Last year bounced out, had to retire against Francisco Cerundolo in the quarterfinals. The year prior, reaching the championship match, falling to Hubie Hurkacz. He wants to get to the last day and pick up the trophy. 3 matches away from reaching the final once again. In the finishing touches, he hopes on this straight set win. Ace number 8 to start off.
Went huge on his forehand in the previous game. Maybe just a wake-up call for Rublev, or drawn his attention to the fact he needs to do that again here. Expect him to go big on every forehand he gets. Well, that must have caught the very outside of the line. I have to say, I thought Sinner had slightly mishit it and dragged it wide. Oh, 1 millimeter in. When it's your day, it's your day. Cruel on Rublev.
Just superior shot making throughout. Rublev up against it. Every time he feels like he has the upper hand, he's just been shut down by Jannik. Looking to cap off a third victory in straight sets at the 71-minute mark and be the first member of the Elite Eight in Miami. Dazzling display from start to finish for the Italian #1. Jannik Sinner catapults himself into the quarterfinals in Miami for the 3rd straight year with a blistering straight sets win over the world #7 Rublev. Jannik Sinner, all business today, and business was very good. 6-2, 6-4 to advance.
Stunning performance from Jannik Sinner. The first time in Rublev's career he's made back-to-back 4th rounds in the Sunshine Double, but tough losses in both of them. 4-2 to Norrie, 2-4 to Sinner, and completely outplayed today. Sinner just had extra layers to his game that Rublev couldn't live with. He served better, he returned better, he was bigger off the ground, he had more variety with the drop shots, the net play. It was a complete performance from this 21-year-old, and he is on fire in Florida. Well, let's take a look at the stats. Quite a match between these two. 102 points, 47 winners in total. Sinner finishing with 28 winners, just 8 unforced errors. What a level of tennis he put on show on Grandstand today. And just an hour and 11 minutes to come through against a top 10 player. He's now looking very good as he awaits the winner of Van de Zandschulp and Rune. If he keeps this tennis up, he's going to keep winning. 86% of first serve points won for Sinner, 67 on the second. And he had a field day on the Rublev second serve. Rublev winning just 27% in that department. A masterful performance from Sinner, and he is through to the quarterfinals.
So Jannik Sinner continues to catapult himself through the draw. Just 19 games dropped, no sets lost. He'll next face the winner of the Van de Zandschulp. 0-0 versus the Dutchman. It would be a first meeting. Or he'll take a 4-0 record lifetime against Rublev, the Finn, including last year here in Miami, where Rublev was able to take Sinner to a third set tiebreak. That's the closest match they have played previously. Their match will be coming up later, as they will be actually next up on the grandstand. But it was a brilliant beginning and a dazzling finish for Jannik Sinner to be able to push himself past Andrei Rublev. Really just came out raring and never looked back once he was able to pull away. Those two early breaks in the opening set really set the tone and the tempo, and Rublev was playing from behind from that point on.
Yeah, a very significant performance, I think, for Sinner in the context of this tournament, but also in the context of his season and indeed his relatively new relationship with coach Darren Cahill. Everything they've been working on really came together, didn't it? The first serve was brilliant. The drop shot worked so well, even when he came forward to the net. He took care of business when he needed to. So give him a lot of belief in the work that he's doing.
Well, let's find out what his thoughts were for today. He's standing by with Ersin Kaderis to have a little combo.
Not an easy one today in this heat, but well done, Jannik, to get through to the quarterfinals. How much are you enjoying your tennis at the moment? You still haven't dropped a set here in Miami.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we try every day our best, and I'm very happy about my performance today. Playing against Andrei is never easy. You know, he serves very well and he plays very aggressive. So I had to change a little bit today. But for sure, you know, my level was great. I felt good on court, so hopefully I can keep it up also in the next round. But yeah, I think today I served better, maybe the best match from Miami here. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, as I said, let's keep it going. I tried at least.
Well, you tried well. You mentioned there the power that Andrei brings to the court. How did you neutralize his game? What attitude did you bring to the court?
We just tried, you know, to play with the right tactics. You know, I'm playing bombs against bombs. It's never easy, but I think today I changed up. I changed the game a little bit, so I'm very happy about that. So yeah, you know, I don't talk about tactics because, you know, it's I don't want to, but for sure, you know, trying to stay aggressive more than him was today for sure the key.
Well done today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we would have been very happy with his service performance today. Actually was broken 4 times in his opening 2 rounds. Didn't face a single break point today. And again, just magnificent off the ground to back it up, hitting 28 winners to just 8 unforced errors. So Jannik Sinner, the first member of the Elite 8 on this day that features everybody left in the round of 16. We're headed inside the big house. Hard Rock Stadium is our next destination. As already underway is Fritz versus Holger Rune, their first ever meeting. They have just traded breaks, so back on serve, as it is the 7th seed from Denmark, serving 30-15 as we take our look across the South Plaza. Everybody's starting to arrive as it's just at the bottom of the noon hour. People starting to get excited. What's going to be a long day featuring the men here at the Miami Open. So let's take that trip inside Hard Rock Stadium and see how things are going in this first ever meeting. Fritz, the American #1, currently at number 10 in the world, taking on Holger Rune, top player from Denmark, and the 19-year-old in his Miami debut, trying to make the most of his appearance here. 6-year age gap between the 25-year-old Fritz and 19-year-old Rune. A lot of belief in his game. Holger has the benefit of having had such a magnificent finish to his 2022 season by winning the Paris Masters, and ran through a gauntlet in order to accomplish that title run. Now the first game without a break point being faced by either. Rune broken in his previous game by a double fault, and Fritz had to endure almost a 10-minute service game when he ultimately succumbed after he had saved 3 break points. The 4th was too much to handle. But Rune finally with his first hold of the day. 2-all. As mentioned, half of the 8 matches that will be contested today are first meetings. Yeah, Fritz a bit unnerved by the fact that there's some movement behind him in the stands. Asking for the chair umpire Fergus Murphy to insert himself and get order restored.
Fritz spoke after his win over Denis Shapovalov about the way in which the Canadian and indeed Emilio Nava, Fritz's opponent in his first match, just threw the kitchen sink at him, hit every ball pretty much as hard as they could, and Fritz didn't really play his normal game. He just had to try and be solid, keep the ball in play, and eventually allow those guys to unravel. Today should be slightly different. Maybe just struggling with the sun there. It's a real abbreviated ball toss. Holger Rune has a big game, but it's a more balanced approach than certainly what Shapovalov brought to the table.
Fritz trying to make quick work of his 3rd effort from the line. He needed 26 points on serve to get through his opening 2 service games. Didn't, and his previous one was broken. His 30th point put in play from the line. Back to brevity after the 16-point previous game where he did surrender his serve. Quick work of game 5. A hold at love. That inserts him back out front through the opening 5 games.
Please with the clocks, man. Like every time.
Generally, well, it's a big court.
Huh?
It's a big court, so we're giving you extra time.
But it's every time. It's like every single time.
What do you mean?
Every time you're in the chair, it's 10 seconds faster.
Well, I mean, I do the same as everybody else.
I promise you don't. Like, I'm not complaining for no reason.
No, but
I've never complained about it to anyone else about how quick they're starting it, because I've gotten used to the time. With you, it's every single time. It's like 10 seconds quicker.
Well, it's not. It's not. You might feel like that.
He doesn't even take a long time at all. He just goes to the towel, quickly comes back. He has 1 second.
During the games, you're doing fine. It was when you're at the back of the court.
Discussion there between Fritz and Fergus Murphy. Fritz feeling that Fergus Murphy starts the shot clock quicker than other umpires, so he's feeling a little out of sync here.
Taylor Fritz had been bothered by just the start of this match a little bit by the crowd, and now starting to take exception with Fergus Murphy in the chair.
Yeah, feeling, as I said at the break, that Murphy is starting the shot clock quicker than other umpires do, so therefore Fritz feeling more rushed than his normal rhythm. Murphy feeling that he does the same as every other umpire, so something to watch out for. In fact, Felix Auger-Aliassime in a previous match with Murphy in the chair made the same point. He feels that Fergus Murphy maybe is a little quicker on the trigger than other umpires, and that, you know, puts them under time pressure to get the next point started. It is a big court, it's a long way to the towel box, but no time violations as yet, I don't think. We'll keep an eye on that.
Holger Rune, no complaints as of yet, although he has a penchant sometimes to get a little agitated himself by multiple external forces. If you've been with us through our coverage of the Miami Open thus far, now on day 7, you'll know this already, but if you haven't, it's the fact that Hard Rock Stadium has that significant canopy overhead that takes a while to sort of cast the court in shadow. It will get there eventually. This is the only match, the starting one, that really is significantly impacted by the sun overhead.
Found the volley. It looked as if the point was going to go the way of Fritz. Nice feel here. And I thought Rune had chosen the wrong shot, but he anticipated and he showed his athletic movement to steal the point. To go back to that discussion between Fritz and Fergus Murphy in the chair.
Sure.
Fergus is a qualified lawyer, isn't he?
Yeah. Yep. The Irishman.
Don't they get paid by the hour? Maybe a little quick to start the clock.
Yeah, you'd think you'd want to extend the timesheet a little bit to get that. No, Fergus is, yeah, he's very by the book kind of chair umpire. Doesn't allow a lot of leeway. By that I mean rules are rules and they're meant to be followed.
But there is a grey area.
Yeah.
As silly as that sounds, because you think, well, it's 25 seconds between points and the shot clock determines it. But just a reminder, the shot clock starts once the umpire calls the score and initiates the clock. Sometimes there's a delay to let the crowd settle down, or maybe just a bit of common sense after a really, really long physical point. So Fritz feels that he's just quicker than other umpires to start that clock.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Rune offers the same sort of objection. See what their objection, lawyer, or if he continues on. But you made another good point. Look at this vantage point. This is bigger than the other courts. It's a longer way to go to get over to your towel, to be able to come back, recover, and particularly at the discretion of the chair umpires, when there's longer points, they can delay, maybe hitting the button a bit. But all in all, as it goes through, you would think that Fergus Murphy, his reputation, he'd be rather consistent. Right now, Taylor Fritz begs to differ.
Bound. 15 all. 30-15.
Well, as expected, Fritz using his attacking weapons in this matchup. And they really are impressive.
40-15.
Over the last year, 18 months, the forehand has become such a big shot for him. He's really settled into his game style, got a full understanding of how he needs to play.
And sturdy effort now since surrendering serve. Has been on fire. Taylor Fritz really getting it done. Lighten it up. And the scoreboard increases in his favor through 7 games.
No discussion this time, I don't think, between Fritz and Murphy. Ice towels in operations, as they've been for a lot of players throughout this tournament. Managing the conditions, we're a little under 30 degrees Celsius. We're in the 60% of humidity. Americans began the tournament in Miami just 7 days ago, and only 3 remain, getting through to the Sweet 16. American number 1 Taylor Fritz, currently present accounted for inside Hard Rock Stadium against Holger Rune. We'll see Tommy Paul later here inside Hard Rock Stadium as well against world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz. And the surprise of all surprises, and the congratulations that have been flowing for American qualifier Christopher Eubanks, had never won 3 consecutive matches at Masters 1000. He's done it. In fact, he's put together more than that because he came through qualifying. They'll face unseeded Adrian Manarino later on the grandstand. As he has so often and continues to do, just flying the flag for Denmark tennis, Holger Rune.
First serve.
Lone member from his home nation, but representing very well here in his debut in Miami. Troubling moments once again for Rune. It's been broken once already. Got a bye in the opening round due to his seeding. Anton Fucsovics was his victim in the opening match here, 6-3, 7-5. And then handled the 31 seed from Argentina, Diego Schwartzman, with relative ease, 4-2, to advance without having dropped a set. Jeopardy here once again, much by his own hand. When he was broken in that previous service game, it was a double fault that cost him.
Yeah, 4 now. Shaky on the second serve.
trying to be controlled in his attack, but just left wanting. Holger Rune surrenders serve. Couldn't be a more inopportune time. As Team Fritz looks on approvingly.
Fritz,
and Taylor, who's been
5 games to
dropping
3.
big heat from the line lately, he'll serve for the set.
Easy to say once he misses that shot, but that's a questionable shot selection for me. Break point down. It's a very precise, quite high tariff shot to go for. And he's coughed up the break here for Fritz. Beautiful return. I always feel, you know, on a big point like that, he's break point down.
15.
You think of Nadal, Djokovic spring in my mind. Federer to a degree, see different game styles, but they want to control the point, but they don't want to take any unnecessary risk. You know, control the point, playing with margin, shots that they could have mastered and can rely on.
How'd that work out for them?
I would say it's gone okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back in this situation, remember, Rune was broken in his second game and basically handed it over to Fritz. The problem for Taylor was he was broken immediately back and in danger of supplying Rune with an opportunity here. Yeah, it's a pretty high benchmark to throw the big three at them, but I understand your point. And just, hey, listen, the reason they're so successful so often is they make smart choices at the right time. Or did. Federer's case.
And let's be honest, I'm not saying Holger Rune is going to win 20+ Grand Slams, but he's aiming not just for top 10. This guy's aiming to be the best in the world. He's aiming to win multiple slams, you know, so it's the benchmark he probably has to.
It's his mission statement, you're right.
Got to measure himself
in
by
order
that.
to accomplish that. Yeah, he needs to be more accountable for those things. Fritz getting it done from love 30 down. He's trying to get that final kick towards the tape that would give him set number 1. Hand Rune his first drop set of the tournament. Give Taylor a chance towards a quarterfinal berth. Now Taylor Fritz, all business, just gets it done. That's all it needs. Settles down, didn't try to do anything too flashy. And from an early deficit in the final game, he gets his hold. Continues on unabated, hoping that he is going to head to the Elite 8 today.
Well, pretty clean set of tennis from Taylor Fritz, or certainly efficient at the end of it. Players exchanged early breaks. Fritz able to get a bit more of his aggression in today than he did against Nava or Shapovalov. 8 forehand winners. It's become such a big weapon for him. 4 aces as well. The serve isn't far behind in terms of the damage it can do. Rune, 11 unforced errors and some disappointing ones in the final 2 games of the set, allowing it to get away pretty cheaply. Neither player overly successful in the second serve, but Rune struggling in particular, just 25% of points won there for him, 2 from 8. And it's advantage Fritz as he bids to make his first quarter-final in Miami.
Taylor Fritz has been the model of consistency of late. And now his 5th consecutive event. Quarterfinalists or better in the last 4. He is 1 set away from making it to the last 8 again. And hoping that in the process he picks up another. They're almost in the running for tour leader with what he would hope would be a match win number 21 on the year. Obviously giving chase towards Daniil Medvedev, tour leader at 25 match wins. He'll be on court later tonight, not before 8:30 local time, against the Frenchman Alice. Olga Rune. Couple of breaks suffered in the opening set, cost him, particularly the late one. He'll serve first to start the 2nd set. Let's see if this is reminiscent of how Fritz was able to just elevate his level from set to set. Taylor coming through in his opening match against Emilio Nava, the wild card from the United States, who beat the 2018 champion here, John Isner. First set was a bit muddled. He was having some difficulty handling Nava's pace. He came out guns blazing, but Taylor was able to take the set 6-4, and then he ran away with the second 6-1. And 4-4 against Shapovalov 2 days ago.
$30-15. $40-50.
Rune looking to notch his first top 10 victory of 2023 after finishing so strongly at the end of last season, running off 5 in a row at the Paris Masters to win that title. Mentioned he ran the gauntlet. I mean, the names, it was a theater of the absurd to get past Hurkacz, Rublev, beat Carlos Alcaraz, Auger-Aliassime in the final, Novak Djokovic. I mean, all top 10 opponents, including world number 1 at the time, Alcaraz, and the guy who he just supplanted, Djokovic. Dazzling.
Well, Rune serving from wide there so that he was in the shaded part of the court. What a return Fritz found, and game this would be to break straight away off the back of winning the first set. He's in the ascendancy, the American. American numero uno.
See. And break number 3 works for Fritz, as now he finds himself out front and legit up a set and a break.
Second set.
Well, the perfect start to the second set for Fritz, and this match is being played the way he would like it to be played. Let's have a look at the rally hit points for both players so far. Rune, not terrible, 47% within the baseline and 2 meters behind, so holding a decent court position, but just 23% inside the baseline. And look at Taylor Fritz, 53%, more than half his shots taken from inside the baseline, and just 9% from more than 2 meters. So he's the one doing more of the attacking. He's the one controlling this match, and he is a set and a break to the good. Oh, he's outfoxed him. Down the line was the obvious shot.
15 love.
Probably could have gone either way. In all honesty, he was in such a strong position. Just showing how good he's feeling with that one.
Mr. Rune requesting video replay left baseline.
Rune asking for a look at the call. Not a challenge, of course, and it was well long. Looked at an angry forehand return. And just to back up the Hawkeye analysis, we get an insight into the percentage of time both players are spending in attack. 10% more for Fritz, and that's a significant gap. Puts him as serious favourite for the match. And the way he's executing as well. No surprise to see him 6-3 2-love up here.
Fritz leads 2 games to love. Love. Love.
Very nearly made it. A high tariff shot, but he's capable.
30-50.
I have to say I'm surprised at the way this match is played out. Look at that for a slow-mo. Reminiscent of the incredible volley Benoit Paire hit in Paris-Bercy a few seasons ago. where he actually had to move his head out of the way to avoid hitting it before the volley went for a winner. Fritz has a big game, there's no doubt about it. Attacking weapons, but so does Rune. I'm surprised that Fritz is in attack 10% more of the time than Rune has been. I'm surprised that he's controlling the baseline and inside so much more than the Dane. Just feel as if young Holger Rune needs to respond. He needs to up the ante here himself.
Yeah, that's going to be a continuing problem for Rune. Then he's going to be enjoying a short stint inside Hard Rock Stadium. Already committing 4-on-4 stairs, and that seemed from a pretty benign position. Didn't really have to go for that angle. Was striking with authority, but puts him in jeopardy. Quality response.
Advantage Rune.
Looked rushed. He's running hot emotionally here, Holger Rune. Clearly frustrated at the way the first 11 games have gone.
Advantage Rune.
Yeah, well, not a lot of teen angst through that game. He's actually keeping things relatively under control and manages to give himself a push. Holger Rune with the hold of serve, but down a set and a break. He's got some room to improve. Continuing on through this wild day where everybody who has advanced at this point through the opening week is in action. Already victorious earlier today, Jannik Sinner needing 7-1 minutes to get past Rublev. He's the first member of the quarterfinalists. Taylor Fritz is set to the good and up a break as he tries to join the Italian #1. Over on the grandstand, Botic Van der Sandschulp has just broken Emil Usuvori for an early 3-2 lead in the opening set. We'll keep you abreast of that, as now the American #1 tries to maintain his position currently and just ease his way through to his first quarterfinal in Miami.
Love. Let's first serve. All.
That'll make things feel a little more in line with how he's been serving of late. He had won 9 points in a row on his serve, Taylor.
Yeah, and one of the big points of difference between these 2 points won on first serve. 81% Fritz, 56 for Rune. Fritz first serve really doing the damage. 3 points, but also when it comes back, attackable balls. Strange looking return there.
Not quite there. And just wants to settle. Needing 1 more point. Yeah, he's been on a nice little tear through his last couple of service games, winning 15 of his last 19. Doesn't want to let up. Doesn't want to give sort of breathing room for Rune. And that's unreturnable. And Taylor, 3 games away from the last 8.
Fritz leads 3 games to 1. Love. All.
Rune's team there. Long-term coach Lars Christensen still very much part of the team, but Patrick Moratoglu and his sidekick Mike James, the analyst, very much part of the setup and bringing something extra. The addition of Moratoglu and indeed James there in the cap really seemed to provide the catalyst for that title in Paris-Bercy.
30 all.
Take nothing away from Christensen, of course. I'm sure Mouratoglou would be the first to recognise the good work that he's done and continues to do.
Yeah, without question. Yeah, doesn't want to disrupt the ship, just hopes to improve its ability to navigate tough waters such as Rune is experiencing right now. Last couple of trips been a little more difficult. Got off to a really good start.
30-40.
7 of his first 8 trips to the net successful.
Match on the line there. Held his nerve and delivered the goods. You never know, maybe just keeps him in it. This was a good defensive forehand from Fritz. Had to take that ball on the rise, but kept control of it.
Just caught the net cord coming off of Rune's racket to throw off Fritz.
Advantage. Rune.
Thought he was in a good position to try to procure another break point. It's not to be. Yeah, it's crucial here for Rune. Stay within a touch. He does just that. 4th ace of the match. Survives a break threat and keeps it to just the single that came to start the set.
Two more, yeah.
As students, as competitors, but most importantly, as people. That's why we're here. We are meant to succeed in college and beyond. To ascend as leaders in the greatest race of all. The human life.
Taking a bit of sustenance on board there. Rune obviously believes in his future in this match and his ability to take it to a decider. But he's going to have to find a break.
Holger Rune surviving a scare that would have put him in serious jeopardy here in set number 2. Continue on from the Miami Open. It's a delightful Tuesday with the specter of potential showers seems to be abated at the moment. And hopefully will not impact all 8 matches that will decide the quarterfinalists today. We'll keep our tabs of the grandstand, as we mentioned. Van de Zandschulp and Rusevori in the opening set currently. And a return to Hard Rock Stadium for Taylor Fritz as he tries to continue his pursuit of a straight sets win.
Love.
Something of an imperative for Taylor to perform well today. He's twice reached the round of 16 previously here in Miami, but did not put in good performances against Alexander Bublik and Miomir Kecmanovic the last 2 years when reaching this round. A little extra incentive try to pick himself up and get him through to the quarterfinals today.
Interesting from Holger Rune there.
30-15.
Just feel that usually after a point like this, he would kind of be bouncing around and a little more upbeat. Is he possibly just slightly low on energy today?
Yeah, just a matter of fact approach today for Taylor. Even with the early offering, when he was broken back in Game 3 of the opening set, the disappointment that came with it, it just doesn't let it linger long. That's been a hallmark that he and Mike Russell have been proud of over the last 12 to 18 months. Fritz not getting bundled up in just nerves or anxiety or negativity. Even when he hits a rough patch, he's able to just find his way to push through. And push through, he's hoping 2 games away from doing just that. As the quarterfinals await. See ball, hit it harder each time. Not necessarily going through the thought process that we've seen where he constructs points well. Just today, just Rune a bit off.
Yeah, go and get that ball and ice towel. Taking a beating there. Really good signs from Taylor Fritz, who, as I said, in his first 2 wins over Nava and Shapovalov, really just had to absorb a lot of pace and keep the ball in play as those two threw everything at him. But you can see from this match and that previous point, his game is in good shape. I know he missed the final forehand, but he's striking the ball very cleanly. And you can't hit a backhand any cleaner than that return.
30 all.
And the dichotomy between the way they're going about their games today. I mean, Taylor didn't have to rear back, wasn't trying to hit it with tremendous pace. Certainly didn't need to add anything to it. Just gently guiding it up the line.
40-30.
Composed once again. Rune has his hold. There's just not a lot of time left. He wants to catch up to Taylor Fritz in this set. He's got to make his move soon.
Looking at Holger Rune's game, he's still young. But he's the type of player you'd think is going to be very competitive, very good on all surfaces. Taylor Fritz, by comparison, you know, he can play on clay, but he's much better with a hard court under his feet. So this is his last big chance for big points before the European clay court season starts in a week or so's time.
Or perhaps the mark set by former world #1, major champion from Denmark, Caroline Wozniacki. But on the women's side of things, Holger Rune trying to make his mark, and he has designs on accomplishing what Wozniacki was able to do and more. Right now, for his hopes in his debut in Miami, things are starting to come to a close unless he can find a way to crack Taylor Fritz. Give himself a chance to get back into set #2. Thus far, it's been a difficult ask.
Love 15. $15 all.
Have a chance here. It's the kind of chance that Rune needs to act on. Anticipating that approach from Fritz, which didn't have much on it.
Yeah, Rune's had multiple opportunities today. It's not as if he hasn't been able to find a way to make inroads. 1 of 6. But when holding a break point for Rune, problem being that Fritz just really finds a way to settle himself. A lot of those break points coming in the opening set. Well, in fact, all of them, mind you. And a prime example, exactly. It just doesn't seem to phase Taylor after having been broken, just being able to shut down Rune's advances. Once again, placing the ball exceptionally well to keep Rune at bay. That's just poor, and that's going to cost him if he can't turn things around immediately. Holger Rune A benign forehand just
Fritz leads
catches halfway up the net, and Fritz unbothered, a game away.
Danger averted. I think Fritz would be pleasantly surprised at the position he finds himself in without having to overly exert himself. He's played a good match, clean match, nice and efficient. And here he is, a game away, 6-3, 5-3 to the good.
$15. $30.
Certainly would have liked an easy service game such as this. Earlier in the second set, he settled himself here, perhaps unencumbered by really much pressure now.
Let's first serve.
Olga realizing it's either put up or start packing up. And unbothered comes up with something special just to finish off a hole to love. Now the first of the two steps done with perfection. Let's get the hold. Now needs the break, or Fritz is through to the quarterfinals.
An exhibition shot there, an opportune moment. I'm not sure you'd be trying that at 4-all, 30-all, but setting a break down, 40-love up on serve, pulling off something special here. Don't try that one at home. Seriously accelerating the racket, just opening the face to carve underneath it. He enjoyed it. But it still only counts for 1 point, and the fact remains he's a game away from losing here. Got to find something special in the next game.
He is the American #1, slew 13 to be exact, inside the Pepperstone ATP top 100 rankings currently. It's only the first time he's facing an opponent ranked higher than him this year. Currently number 10 in the world, facing 8th ranked holder Rune. Hoping he can serve his way to his 17th top 10 victory of his still burgeoning career and put him through to a 5th quarterfinal in as many events. Looking for his first last 8 in Miami. Fritz serving for the match.
Just hasn't quite had it today, Holger Rune.
15 love.
When he's firing on all cylinders, he makes those.
30 love. That is 15.
And that's going to miss wide, and Taylor Fritz right on the doorstep, taking that big step into the Elite Eight.
40-15.
And the number 10 player in the world picks up his 20th victory in 2023. Facing off against Holger Rune for the first time. A comprehensive and thorough victory for the American number 1. And his success in the Sunshine Double continues. 14-2 the last 2 years. Champion of Indian Wells last year as he makes a bid for a deep run in Miami. His first quarterfinal here. Now Taylor, I'd feel pretty gratifying effort in just under an hour and a half. A 6-3, 6-4 win to knock off the world number 8.
Yeah, job very well done from Taylor Fritz. Holger Rune's finest performance, that's for sure, but I'm sure we will see him play some very big matches in Miami in the coming years. Taylor Fritz's third straight sets victory in a row, as you said, Kevin. Very straightforward for him so far. I think he'd probably be surprised at how straightforward this one was, but he'll certainly take it. And he's through to the quarterfinals here. The first time he'll await the winner of the mouth-watering clash between top seed Carlos Alcaraz and 16th seed Tommy Paul, Taylor's good friend. But for now, he's got a chance to enjoy the moment and enjoy a really efficient win.
Yeah, Holger Rune's Miami debut comes to an end. He put in a good effort, but today he was just outmatched.
Yeah, he was. He didn't really show much patience at times, especially in that second set. 26 unforced errors. Yes, there were 20 winners, but some questionable decision making. He didn't look fully engaged to me. I'm not sure he was feeling quite 100%. That's just speculation from me, but Fritz was efficient. 19 winners, just 14 unforced, served well, returned well. Return was an area in which he really did perform better than Rune. And as I say, just an hour and 24 minutes. Pretty light work in the end for Taylor Fritz, who may well have been expecting a more physical battle in this one. Took care of business on first and second serves. Backhand average speed 66 miles an hour for Fritz as opposed to 62 for Rune. Got a really solid two-hander, Fritz. Sometimes gets overlooked amongst the serve and the forehand. But he's in form again in the Sunshine Double.
Taylor Fritz through to the quarterfinals for the first time in Miami, the second member of the Elite Eight following Jannik Sinner's victory earlier today. Next up for Taylor, a potential clash with fellow American and good friend Tommy Paul. They're 2-2 lifetime against each other, all on hard courts. Their last coming in the Acapulco semifinals. Paul getting the better of Taylor, or Taylor Fritz might be, for the second straight round, in a first meeting against a 19-year-old. But the stakes considerably higher, considering it's the man who supplanted him as Indian Wells champion and last year won this event, Carlos Alcaraz. So that does indeed lead to what potentially could be an exciting first meeting in the last 8 in Miami if Alcaraz moves through. So things really taking shape now as we move into that little stretch where it's time to get down to business. And for Taylor Fritz, he has been very focused, playing some very quality and controlled tennis here in Miami.
Yeah, it certainly is. And he's just managed his 3 matches so well. Hasn't overplayed them. I don't think he's hit top gear yet, but he hasn't had to. You know, Nava and Shapovalov, they just unraveled before his eyes. He had to be solid there. And then today, Rune wasn't at his best, and I think Fritz was aware of that, and just very efficient with the first serve. Returned well, won the points that he needed to, and took care of business in pretty light fashion. So he's in a great place physically and with his game heading into the quarterfinal. Whoever he faces, he's primed to give it a really good go.
And as mentioned, he has really enjoyed his time through this march in the United States the last year and a half. Actually, the last year and a couple of weeks as Indian Wells champion, and then coming here to reach the quarterfinals this year. That bookend of Sunshine double events, 14-2 over the span of 2022 and 2023. So a quality approach for Fritz. We hope to hear from him in a moment, but we do have a chance to peek in on the grandstand. The third meeting between Botic van de Zandschulp and Emil Rusevori. They met twice last year on grass. Today it's on a hard court outside, and Van de Zandschulp broke in the 5th game and trying to propel himself to a 1-set lead. Rusevori misses the mark, and a hold at love.